welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, we have a lot to discuss. Yeah, I'm in shock. I'm just as in shock as you guys are. So let me just backtrack for a second and let me tell you what happened with IOE. So as I said from the last video, just recapping, I'm based in Denver. The schedule was to go from Denver to Alabama, back to Denver, to Washington, back to Denver, to Omaha, back to Denver, and then Omaha again, and then back to Denver. Whatever. Omaha, Denver, Denver, Omaha. It was like, you know, 2 legs, one going there and one coming back. And the last time I spoke to you guys, I was in Washington, right? So it was 1 leg left of practice, and then my last 2 legs were supposed to be my actual like proficiency legs. Y'all, please tell me why. Oh, also, might I add that my report time was at 5 a.m. to come back. Oh, excuse my cat who decides to talk every time I make a video. Like, hasn't said a word all day. Now he wants to talk, but okay. Anyway, report time was at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, okay, let me go to sleep super early. I go to sleep at like 9:30, because I said 8, but I went to sleep at like 9:30, honestly. I was like, go to sleep because you're gonna have a long day. You have like 4 legs. You need to be prepared. This is like the time where she's actually gonna test you, yada yada yada, or just make sure you're doing everything right. So be well rested. I go to sleep and I wake up at like 1 in the morning, and I see the alarm clock on the hotel alarm clock. It says 1, so I'm like, okay, good, because I hate when I wake up like 5 minutes before my alarm goes off, because then it's like, dang. So wake up 1. I was like, okay, yay, I still have a lot of time. Then I just so happened to check my phone, and I have 2 missed calls from work and a voicemail. Right then and there, I have a heart attack, because I'm just like, how did I miss this? Like, my life is over. Why did I put my phone on silent? Like, I'm literally freaking out. Listen to the voicemail. The voicemail says, oh, the flight is delayed. We just wanted to let you know and just make sure you like self-notify online. So I was like, okay, cool. The flight was no longer leaving at 5. It was now leaving at 9. So I was like, okay, great. I have way more time to sleep in. So because I was like a little bit anxious, I was like up at like at least 8. So I was up, grabbed some food, and I went to go see my IOE instructor. Like, she just happened to be there when I was going to get breakfast, and she's telling me, oh yeah, the flight is pushed back. And she was like, and I'm like, oh yeah, they called me and told me that the flight was pushed back. And she's like, okay, great. Since the flight is pushed back, your other 2 legs, the ones to go to Omaha and come back, are canceled. And I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? She's like, basically your IOE is canceled and you're gonna have to do this all over again. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I don't want to do this all over again. Like, the anxiety will restart like from the top. So my IOE instructor said that she was gonna push to see if my leg to come from Washington to Denver can be my proficiency leg, and if I pass that, can I be good to go and just like start to be on the schedule. But the thing is, you have to have at least 2 legs where she's watching me perform everything without helping me at all. And I only had one flight left for that day since the flights to Omaha got canceled. So basically it was a slim chance to none. So the time is now, it's like 8 o'clock now, and we were supposed to leave like at 9. 9 turns to 10. I don't think we left until like 10:30 a.m. So that whole thing, like, we were delayed like so much time, and it was really because, oh, hey. Are you gonna move? Okay, bye. Bye. Anyways, sorry about that. Back to what I was saying. The flights got pushed back because of bad weather. Apparently this is something that happens often in Washington. I think it's because it's so much fog, the pilot's not able to see when they're going to land. So that's what made our flight get delayed by so many hours. So yeah, so now I'm back home, which I don't have no problem with. Like, everything happens for a reason. They scheduled me IOE the same day that they canceled it. So before I even got on the flight to come back to Denver from Washington, they gave me my itinerary for my next IOE, which is gonna be only 3 days instead of the 4 days that I had. So I was like, okay, like, that's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm in a rush to start working, so and be on reserve, which my schedule will be random anyway, so I might as well get used to it now. So I didn't really have any complaints about it. I wasn't necessarily upset or anything. Yeah, so that was that. It got canceled literally the last day. So, you know, by the grace of God, it wasn't a failure or anything like that. Didn't want to scare you guys, but I'm glad you guys watched this whole video. If you made it this far. In terms of IOE, I do want to tell you guys that you need to relax, like, calm down. I know everybody else in their YouTube videos, they're all saying, relax, 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 you got this. But, like, for real, you got this. Like, just relax. Relax, it's fine. There's nothing like super hard about it. If you've already been through, training was the hard part. Training was literally the hard part. Why would they, like, think about it, why would they do training and pay for your hotel stay, give you a uniform, all to give you like level 2 a hard IOE training? Like, that doesn't even make sense. So just think about it like that. They've already invested so much money and time into you that they're not gonna set you up for failure in your second portion of training, which is IOE. So yeah, that's like the best advice I can give you guys. Just relax, be calm, definitely take notes. Yeah. Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention is that, so I live in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure I already told y'all, but yeah, I live in Atlanta and I have to commute to Denver for work. So on the way back, after our trip was over, I like chose to do a non-rev flight from Denver back to Atlanta for like, I don't know, the evening time. I think it was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And I go up to the desk of where the gate is, and I'm like, hey, I just wanted to see like what number I am as far as the standby list. And they're like, yeah, you're number 13. I would actually look into getting another flight. Like, I don't think you're gonna make this one. They were just super negative, and I'm like, you know, being number 13 is already like, ooh. But I don't need your negativity. I don't need you to plan for me to get another flight. Like, let's not put that negative energy into the air. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll stick around and I'll just see. Like, don't put that energy into the air because I need to go home. There was literally only like one more flight after that. But I wanted to go home. That it was like 2 hours from the time of that flight was leaving, and I'm not about to sit in the airport for hours. Like, I was ready to go home. No. Plus, I only put enough water for my cat for the 4 days that I was gone. So I was just like, okay, he's gonna be dehydrated. It's time to go home. So anyways, mind you, I'm number 13. They start calling people, and guess what, y'all? I got on the plane. There were people after me, I believe, who got on the plane. Like, and when I got on, I'm thinking it's gonna be a super tight space. No, there were actually seats open. So I was just like, I don't understand why the person in the front was being so dramatic and just very negative about, oh yeah, I don't think you'll get a seat. Like, I don't care if you're number 30. Okay, maybe you need to care if you're number 30. But I was number 13 and I made it on the flight. So I'm just telling you guys that don't get discouraged and just sit there, because just wait until they call everybody. Wait until the plane is completely boarded and it leaves before you sit there and just assume that you won't have a seat, because I got a seat. And I got a seat specifically because I think there were 2 people who had a connecting flight and they were on standby. They had a connecting flight and they were like still getting their luggage from the last flight that they were on, so they didn't make it. There were 2 people who weren't even there. There was a family of 3 people who basically, they were saying if there's not 3 seats available for us, we're not gonna get on. I think it was down to like 2 seats left, and I was going by myself and the person behind me was going by themselves, so we were able to get on. So that tells you. And he was number 14, so 14 people on the list, and then boom, I'm still able to get on. So definitely do not, base everything off your number. Like, just see what happens. Definitely just see what happens when it comes to being on standby, and hopefully by the grace of God, I'll always be that lucky and I'll always be able to get on. I will let you guys know if there's a day where I can't make it home, but so far so good. So yeah, my next IOE is not until it's like a week from now, so I have a couple days to relax and regroup. Not to say that I was working hard, I was literally just job shadowing essentially, and doing practice runs, so it wasn't anything strenuous. The one thing I will say is that I did have a little bit of altitude sickness, and I wasn't even in Denver that long, but when we were taking off, I felt it just a little bit and then it went away. But yeah, you do feel it. So if you are prone to altitude sickness, like, you want to find home remedies for that as soon as possible. I know there is medication you can take, but you don't want to be reliant on medication, That's how I feel. But yeah, I had a good time. It was fun. My IOE instructor, she was super nice, very inviting and welcoming, and wanted to make sure that I knew everything, so that was great. Oh, also, I'm going to, yeah, how many times did I do this in the video? Also, okay, anyways, what was the last thing I wanted to tell y'all? Oh, I didn't have a lunchbox or a little briefcase. You know how some flight attendants, they have like 3 bags on their suitcase? I didn't have a lunchbox. I brought my black handbag instead, and I just looked like a newbie. I really like brand new, because I had a handbag instead of a lunchbox or a briefcase, crossbody, and I definitely want to get those 2 items. And I do want to get food because it gets expensive buying food every day. When I went to Denver, I went to this restaurant and I paid $20 for an omelet and it wasn't even good. Like, and I'm still a little bit upset about that. Like, why? When the server dropped off the omelet, I was like, ew, this doesn't even look, it didn't even look appealing. So, yeah, they definitely got that $20 out of me, like, very easily. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna be bringing lunch. Let me know in the comments of some great options for food that I can bring on the airplane that won't, you know, spoil, or something that's healthy, because it's time to be healthy, and something that's like light sodium or sodium free, because I definitely don't want to be bloating on the airplane and turning into a balloon. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you comment down below if you have any questions. Let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. And I will be here by the end of next week to talk about my completed IOE. So make sure you guys stay tuned, hit the like button, and subscribe so you know when my videos come out. Okay, bye.